Did you know that billions of people believe you only use 10% of your brain, or that someday you could access 100% and become superhuman? But what if I told you that's a myth? Welcome to The Curious Explorer, where we dive deep into the brain, the myths, the facts, and what it really means to use your brain to its full capacity. Hi, I'm Jay, and you're watching The Curious Explorer. Today we're tackling one of the most enduring neuroscience myths. Can we really use 100% of our brain? You may have heard that we only use 10% of our brain, or maybe the promise that unlocking the unused 90% gives you superpowers, super memory, or even telekinesis. But what does science actually say? Is there untapped potential sitting idle in your skull? And if so, how do we access it? Stay with me on this because we'll explore the origins of the myth, what modern neuroscience tells us, and what it actually means to use your brain. First, where did this myth come from that we use only 10% or less of our brain? This claim has been around for decades, appearing in self-help books, pop culture, motivational speeches, and even Hollywood films. According to the McGovern Institute for Brain Research at MIT, the idea that we use only 10% of our brain is 100% a myth. Keep watching to see for yourself. One possible origin is from the American psychologist William James in 1907 once wrote, "We are making use of only a small part of our possible mental and physical resources." That quote was likely misinterpreted or sensationalized over time. Another possible origin is from the self-help and motivational movement in the early 20th century. In the 1936, a book on how to win friends and influence people by Dale Carnegie referenced this idea. So go check it out, and yes, of course you would see this possible coming. Hollywood film Lucy in 2014 hinges on a protagonist accessing 100% of her brain and gaining superpowers. Now, have you ever heard someone say they unlocked their brain to reach their full potential? Now, what would that look like? Drop your thoughts and comments below. Alright, myth dismantled. Now let's turn to science. Does modern neuroscience support the idea that large portions of our brain lay dormant? The short answer is no. Research shows that we are using virtually every part of the brain, and most of it is active nearly all the time. For example, brain imaging studies from fMRI scans, brain scans reveal that even simple actions like reading or walking involve many different brain regions. According to the McGovern Institute, the brain thought is only about 2% of body weight, which consumes roughly 20% of the body's energy. That level of metabolic investment would be inefficient if most of it were idle. Also, if 90% of the brain were unused, wouldn't that damage to almost any small region leads to measurable impairment? The fact is, there are no large chunks of silent brain tissue waiting to be turned on. Here's something that's interesting. Some neuroscientists point out that while we use our whole brain, we do not use 100% of our neurons at the same time. In fact, activists of the 100% brain use myth misunderstand what use means. According to Barry Gordon from Johns Hopkins, we use virtually every part of the brain. Most of the brain is active almost all the time. Some animal studies estimate that more than 60% of the brain consists of neurons that in the tested conditions appear inactive, sometimes called neural dark matter. But understand, this is not evidence that those regions are unused. They may serve reserve capacity, plasticity, or other less studied functions. Here's a question for you. If we already use our whole brain, what do you think people really mean when they say unlock your brain? Now you might ask yourself, if we're already using almost all of our brain, why does the myth persist? And what do people mean when they say use more of your brain? Let's unpack that. Semantic confusion. Use more often means improve performance, develop skills, or access untapped potential, not literally activating unused brain parts. The myth swims because brain use is vague. Mixed definitions. At any given moment, you might only be using a subset of regions for a specific task. That doesn't mean the rest are inactive. For instance, you don't activate your visual cortex when you're listening to music, but the visual cortex remains ready. Plasticity and latent potential. While all regions may be doing something, some circuits can strengthen, while some areas can adapt after injury. Your untapped potential might be less literal and more about learning, rewiring, and optimizing. Pop science exaggeration. Movies and self-help hype promise superpowers if you turn on 100% of your brain, which sets up unrealistic expectations. But real optimization comes from proven habits like sleep, exercise, diet, mental challenge. Improved cognitive performance comes from lifestyle, not unlocking dormant brain regions. Here's something that might confuse you for a moment. If we're already using our entire brain, why does it still feel at times like we're not? Like, why do we forget names or lose focus or struggle to learn something new if the brain is supposedly firing on all cylinders at all times? Could it be that our brain intentionally limits what we perceive, like a computer throttling its own power to prevent overload? Some cognitive scientists suggest that what feels like unused capacity might actually be the brain's built-in filtering mechanism, a way to keep us from being overwhelmed by every piece of sensory information. So, maybe the question isn't, are we using all of our brain, but how much of reality does our brain let us experience? The fact is that you use your entire brain every day. No large section sits idle. Neuroscience has demonstrated that over the course of a day, nearly every region demonstrates some sort of activity. What's fiction is that the idea that we could awaken some massive dormant region and instantly become Einstein-level geniuses or develop telekinesis, which is unsupported. This so-called latent 90% idea belongs more to sci-fi than science. While the brain is fully used, the efficiency of brain use is variable. Some neurons are less active while others are more active. Some circuits are weaker, some connections could be improved. So maybe the real question isn't can we use 100%, but can we use our brain more effectively? As one article put it, the brain has no hidden reserve agency. Optimizing it means improving how you use it, not discovering unused modules. The uncommon theory is some researchers propose the existence of neural dark matter brain tissue whose functions are not yet identified. Others speculate that our subjective consciousness only taps parts of our brain at once and that unused doesn't imply non-functional. Yes, we do use our entire brain, but the myth of unlocking 100% still sells because it taps into our human desire for supercapacity or superpowers. Is it more empowering to believe we already use our whole brain, or to believe we still have vast untapped reserves left to be discovered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Since you're here, you've already got the myth busted, so what next? Here are 3 short, powerful ways to truly optimize your brain use effectively, rather than chasing a misguided idea of unlocking dormant tissue. Healthy lifestyle, sleep, exercise, nutrition matter. The brain uses 20% of the body's energy despite being only 2% of body weight. Hydrate, sleep at least 7 to 9 hours, get regular aerobic exercise. These boost neuroplasticity. Challenge your brain, learn a new language, discover something new, work on complex puzzles, strengthens the neural connections and recruits unused circuits. The brain adapts and rewires. That's real untapped potential. Manage your stress and focus. Chronic stress impairs brain function. Multitasking reduces efficiency. Focused attention lets more brain circuits coordinate rather than compete. In short, you're not trying to light up unused brain parts. You're trying to coordinate what you already use better. So here's the truth. You don't need to unlock your brain. You just need to trust it. Every idea you've ever had, every creative spark, every problem you've solved, that's your 100% already at work. The potential you're searching for isn't hidden. It's waiting for you to believe in it. So the next time someone tells you you're only using 10% of your brain, smile because you know you're already running at full power. The question is, how boldly will you use it? And there you have it. The myth that you use only 10% or that you can unlock 100% of your brain is just a myth. The truth is far more fascinating. You already use your brain, virtually all of it. The real frontier is not finding unused pieces, but using what you have more skillfully. If you enjoyed this deep dive, here's what I'd love you to do. Like this video if you learned something new. Comment below, what brain myth do you believe in or would like to debunk? Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next science myth busting adventure. Share this video with someone who still insists they've only used 10% of their brain. Thanks for watching. I'm Jay, and I'll see you next time on The Curious Explorer, where curiosity meets insight. Stay curious.